Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Mary and I'm a homeschooling mama to a rising kindergartner and a rising second grader. And we just got back from a pretty fruitful thrift shopping experience. We hit up 3 different thrift shops around our little town that we live in, and I swear I think it's because it's coming to the end of the school year. All homeschooling families around me are probably donating all of their curriculum that they're not going to use anymore, or books or things like that. And we made out like bandits. So I thought, oh, I love watching these types of videos. So I thought I'd share with you guys what we got and why we got it, whether it's for a specific purpose or just because we liked it and it was cool. So we got books, we got games, we got some other things. So I'll go ahead and share that all with you. First off, I'm going to share the books we got because I love some books, y'all. And at our thrift stores, basically they just have a blanket policy where soft cover books, I think this is pretty much across all of them, are 50 cents and hardcover books are $1. So anything I show you, it's under that pricing. And I got some steals, y'all. All right, so first up, I got Basher Science Physics, Why It Matters. We are going to be doing elemental science, not next year, but the year after. And I know that they use the biology book from this series. Their physics that we will be doing in elementary does not use this book, I don't think, but I thought it would be a really great addition to our physics curriculum in a couple of years. I know that it's a couple years off, but I like building up our library now and getting them when they're really good steals. And this is in great condition, y'all. Like, look at this book. It's got really fun graphics, colors. It'll be really good for the kids when they're starting to learn physics. So snag this. Wasn't a required spine book, but I think it'll be a good addition book when we do our physics. Next up, this is something that is in our curriculum. So I found Magic Treehouse Research Guide, Mummies and Pyramids. So we have the Magic Treehouse Pyramid book we need for next year. We're going to be doing Story of the World, Ancients. Not this coming school year, but literally the following year. So basically think starting in a year and a half, we'll be using this curriculum, Story of the World, and they recommend using this book along with the Magic Treehouse corresponding pyramid book, which we already have. So I saw that and I was like, it was meant to be, I gotta snag it. I also found Stuart Little. It's a classic. We will be including this in our literature readings at some point, maybe next year, maybe the year after, I'm not quite sure, but in beautiful condition. So snagged it. Well, the snagging was good. We also got this ready to read book. It's called The Dog That Dug for Dinosaurs. We have another book. This is about Mary Anning, who was basically one of the first paleontologists without being a paleontologist and knowing it. As a child, she dug up a whole skeleton of a Plethorosaurus, I think. We read the book, one sec, I have it actually, I think back here. Okay. So it's Mary Anning and the Sea Dragon. This was one of the books that we used in our science program this year with Blossom and Root, level 1 science. It was earth science. So we were learning about fossils and everything. And so when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, that's such a perfect pairing, because then also my daughter can read it, my oldest daughter. But also we are going to be doing a quick prehistory 6-week unit study from Build Your Library at the end of this upcoming school year. And I thought, what a good book to kind of throw in there as a supplement learning about fossils. Next up, I read this back in middle school, I think. Maybe it was high school, I'm not sure. Fever 1793. This is a book I'm going to have the girls read way down the line. This is way too mature for them right now. It deals with a lot of heavy topics, but I remember really enjoying it. I remember it being very emotional for me, but I remember it being a really good book. So I got it actually for me to read, and also pre-read, right? We want to pre-read these types of books that have heavy topics before we get these to our kiddos. But again, that'll be years down the road that I let them read this, but I figured for 50 cents, snag it now, and it was in good condition. This one, My Father's Dragon. I have not read it myself, but I've heard such wonderful things about it, and I think I'm going to add this to our literature repertoire this year, and I think it would just be such a cute book from what I've heard about it. So again, perfect condition, awesome. We're big American Girl doll fans over here, and we have quite a few of the books. I don't know if you can see them right there. We are doing American Girl history next year. This is not one of the required books for Addie for her unit that we're going to do this upcoming year. So I didn't have this one, but for 50 cents, changes for Addie. Anytime I see one of the American Girl doll books at thrift stores, I snag them if I don't have them. I want to have the whole entire set if I can at some point. It's an investment for sure in time trying to find them via thrifting, but if you have the time and you can get them and they're in good condition, why not? And my girls love these stories, so very relatable to them. They love learning about history through the girls. So snagged Changes for Eddie, which is her 6th book in her series. Okay, next up I got Poetry for Young People, Robert Frost. This is actually, I think I remember it's in Build Your Libraries curriculum. I can't remember what level. I remember seeing this on there because I took note. I was like, ooh, I want to get this for the girls. Even if I don't end up using that curriculum down the line, I wanted to get this book series. I think it's a really good introduction of poetry to young kiddos. So snag that. Not sure if we'll do this year or next year, but I'll have it, ready to go when we decide to pull it out. So this is a bit of a blast from the past. I definitely had The Care and Keeping of You. I'm not sure if there was 1 or 2. This is a revised version. Obviously, I'm a lot older than when this first came out. It was in like the 90s, I think. But I remember it being a really good book, trying to explain my body to me, about hygiene, a little bit about puberty as well, like taking care of yourself. So I really enjoyed this book. Now, my mother honestly just gave me the book and walked away and didn't give me any context around any of it, which probably wasn't the best way to go about it, but that's fine. It's not her fault. She didn't know any better. I now know better, having experienced it that way. So I will go through this book with the girls. I'm not just gonna say, here you go, and have fun. And again, this is a much older book. We will get to it at some point when they're a little older, but they're not ready for this quite yet. But when the time comes, we will then be using this book to kind of introduce those topics. I also found it's a consumable book. It's from Kumon. I've never tried any of the books in the series, but I hear wonderful things about it. It's my book of cursive writing words, and my oldest will be doing her first cursive handwriting program this upcoming year. It's Handwriting Without Tears, Cursive Kickoff, I think is what it's called. And I figured, like for 50 cents, it's another, way to practice her cursive. Why not? I think since she's not done cursive yet, looking at this, it says ages 6, 7, and 8. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce cursive kickoff first, and then we can use this either as additional practice in between, or once she's done with cursive kickoff, use this to continue to practice, because the way this goes about, it's already assuming you know how to make a cursive A or B or things like that. So this is definitely for somebody who's already familiar with writing letters in cursive. So we'll use this either halfway through cursive kickoff or after the fact, but another additional resource to really hone her cursive writing. Okay, so last but not least, the piece de resistance, in the book section at least. We are big Math with Confidence fans over here, like huge Math with Confidence fans. Love it. It has been a lifesaver for us. Now, the only other program I was thinking about looking at was Math UC when I was trying to figure out if I should go with Math with Confidence or something else. Math UC was the other program I was looking at. But I decided to go with Math with Confidence. That was a great decision for us. My youngest is a 4.5-year-old. She is flying through level K. And so I feel like she's a little bit more mathematically inclined, and I've heard of people doing this before where they do 2 math curriculums at the same time. And I'm not sure if that'll be feasible, but regardless of what I decide to do with this, I found Alpha textbook for Math UC for $1 at my thrift store, and I couldn't pass it up because, more importantly, even if we don't end up using it in some capacity, even as a supplement, or if we switch to it or whatever we decide to do down the road, I wanted to have my hands on it and actually look inside the textbook and see how they teach math, because it is very different. We do happen to have these blocks, the block set. I bought it off of our local Facebook marketplace. It even came in a cute like little carrying case. It's like it's almost like a tackle box the way they put it in there, but it's perfect. And we still use these manipulatives when we're doing like counting by tens and things like that in Math with Confidence. But I thought, this is supposed to be, I think, corresponds to first grade. So my current first grader probably wouldn't get anything out of this, but we might use it as a supplement for my younger kid. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but for $1, I could not pass up getting it. It's in great condition. At best case, I'll get to take a look inside further into their curriculum and decide if it's something we want to switch to after Math with Confidence stops, because they only go up to 6th grade. So maybe this will give me an opportunity to really see how they run their curriculums and if it's something we want to switch to later after Math with Confidence is over. So either way, what a steal. No clue if we'll use it. but at least I have it on hand and I can take a look at it further. Okay, next up, we're gonna talk about the games that we got today. So each game was $2 each, and I haven't looked inside yet to see if we all have all the pieces. I hope we do. They bind them so you don't look at them and lose the pieces in the store. You can look at them at the cash register, but we were in such a rush. I was just like, for $2, if they don't have all the pieces, we'll figure it out. But this first game, when I came in and I told my husband, I was like, babe, you won't believe what game I got. And I showed it to him and he was like, I've never heard of that. And I was like, are you kidding me? It's like a blast from the past for me. I used to play this game all the time when I was little. So maybe you guys have no idea what I'm talking about, just like my husband, or you might be as excited as I am, but I found Labyrinth. Y'all, like, I played this game all the time when I was a kid. Emery, my oldest, actually pulled it off the shelf, and I think she was so excited about it because it had a princess and dragon. She was like, Mom, can we get this? Now, it says it's for 7 and up. I don't remember how old I was when I used to play with this, so my kids may need another year or two. Well, my oldest could play it, but my youngest might need another year or two to be able to play it. I don't know. She seems to pick up on games pretty quickly, so maybe not. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys posted, but I am so excited to play this game. It's so fun. It's like mazes and stuff. I don't know. I think my youngest can totally handle it. Next, I got Sequence for Kids. And it looks in great condition. I don't know. We'll see what the inside looks like. That's always the real tell. And hopefully it has all its pieces. But we'll see. Okay, last but not least, the girls, we have needed to get them some kind of like small backpack. They have like big backpacks, like Pottery Barn backpacks that my mother-in-law got them. They're beautiful, but we need like something small that they can take. Like when we went to the zoo, we needed a smaller backpack where they could just hold their water and a few snacks. Or if we go on a nature hike, they just need something just to hold their water and snacks. And that's really it, right? And at our local thrift store, the last stop we made, I just so happened to look over at the bag rack and found these two gems. It's a little like, it's kind of fun. It's like splattered paint, but it's like perfect size for their little tiny bodies because they can't really wear big backpacks anyways. And then this one for my oldest, she really liked this one. So, I feel like I don't know. I feel like thrifting is such an up and down emotional roller coaster. Sometimes you have great days where you get so many items and you maybe spend $10, but you come home with all this. And for the running total, I think I spent, it was $11 and change for all of that I got. Isn't that insane? That's pretty crazy. Some days you make out like a bandit like this, and some days you go in there and you walk out empty-handed. But that's where I love thrifting. It's kind of the thrill of the chase, like trying to find the things. That's why I think I love thrifting so much, but also because I get a massive deal. Because as you guys know, homeschooling, it can get expensive if you're not careful. You can do it really cheap, kind of like how I'm doing it here, obviously, but you could also run away with it and all of a sudden your budget is blown and you're like, what did I do? So thrifting has become a newfound passion of mine, and it's also why I am one of those people, my friends think I'm crazy, but I plan years out, and I learn what books are we gonna need for future curriculum, blah, blah, blah. Like I start to memorize book lists and things like that. I probably should make a list of things rather than just trying to remember it all in my brain, but I have a visual memory, so I literally I click the picture of the front of the cover of the books in my head, and if I can spot it on a bookcase because I have a visual memory, a photographic memory. That's what it is. I'm very visual, but I'm a photographic memory. So for me, I don't really need to write it down. If I look at a book list once and I'm like, okay, I remember that, and then I find it in the thrift store, I'm like, we need that for 2 years from now in a level. I know it's crazy, but that's how I'm able to get all this stuff at such steals. So that was a really long-winded way of saying, if you're a homeschooler and you have the time and the ability and you have shops near you, definitely thrift shop. It is time consuming. You have to have the time for it. And today was just one of those days where we had the time and we made the best of it and came out winning. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are new to my channel, hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you hang around, and I will see you guys in my next video.